He's the ultimate trends forecaster, and he joins us now on our Outlook. Gerald Celente, welcome back to the show.
It's always great being on.
So Gerald, you recently released your much anticipated 2017 Outlook. What can we expect for the U.S. economy this year?
Well, for the American economy, we're forecasting it's going to be better than now. And what Trump has done, I mean, this is it's a corporate cabinet. He's about business, and it's very different from when a politician's in there. So the business of America is becoming business again. Under the last three administrations, it's been wars on terror, foreign policy, interventions, and less on the business of America. So we're looking at a pretty positive economic year so far for the United States. But you mentioned the rising interest rates. What effect is that going to have on housing and automobiles? The bigger issue is that rising interest rates and a stronger dollar is really going to hit the emerging markets, particularly countries like China and Russia and South Africa, Turkey. And you're already seeing massive capital outflows. So there's going to be some problems.
So that said, Gerald, despite your optimism for the U.S. economy, you're still staying bullish on gold.
I'm optimistic for gold as a safe haven asset. We're no longer saying where it was going when I was a year ago when we forecast it would have a nice rise. And now, of course, with the Fed coming out and raising interest rates, which was no surprise to anyone, you're seeing gold now at a 10-month low. But going back to the emerging markets, the world is bigger than America. So if you have, for example, if you were holding India in rupees, what would you rather have? That when they you made them go all in, when they called them in, 86% of them, or gold. If you're living in China, you're seeing, for example, physical gold in China's buying is increasing at about 25% as the yuan gets weaker. So what we're saying is gold is still a great safe haven asset, but in the United States, with a stronger dollar, it's not going to be good for gold. But it's going to be good for gold when you're looking at emerging market destabilization. It's more than just capital outflows, by the way. It's the trillions of dollars of debt that they've taken on that they have to pay back as their currencies get weaker. So that's what the issue is we're looking at it as.
So you see gold as more as a hedge. So you're not so bullish on the metal itself, however.
Not as we saw it last year, no. But again, we would suggest holding it. But again, we don't give investment advice. But what we're, as forecasters, we're saying gold has maybe another $80 down. That's not a lot. So this is a good buying opportunity for those that want to look long term. That's what we're saying. And because the global economy is very different than the American economy.
So let's talk Trump now. How do you see his impact on the economy?
We're saying it's a positive growth economy. And you look at the business people that he's bringing into his cabinet. Again, it's not a cabinet in the sense that these are senior vice presidents. It's going to be a business deal with this guy Tillerson from Exxon, Mnuchin from Goldman Sachs, this guy Wilbur Ross. These are really tough business-minded people. And so if they keep the economy in their mind rather than their special interests, we think there's going to be some positive flow. And we're not concerned about a trade war, by the way. That's more talk. There's going to be renegotiations. But already we see a positive psychological change when you're seeing business confidence, particularly among small businesses, rise so high. They're at the highest level now since 2009 when Obama got elected, when people really believed he was going to bring hope and change you could believe in.
So one thing you're also forecasting is a trend towards a cashless society. Let's talk about that.
I mean, all of a sudden, one day you wake up, turn in all your cash. I mean, what do you think they're doing this for? They're doing it because they want to know every penny that you spend so they could grab tax money from it. Go to Sweden, you go all around, less and less cash is being used. Hong Kong, one country after another. So what we're saying is Again, if all of a sudden they say turn in your cash, what would you rather have? Money that you have to turn in or hold gold? So that's what we keep saying, is that gold is still a safe haven asset. And in a cashless society, gold is going to be worth even more.
Before I let you go, Gerald, is there one trend in 2017 that you feel is a must watch?
Yeah, there's a big one that's coming up. We call it VRED, virtual reality education. People have their minds right now on virtual reality as games, and I could be in another place. And it's going to change the whole industrial age education model. Imagine a young child, and now you're able to find out the strengths and weaknesses in a very deep level of that person, and now putting them in a virtual school with the best teachers in the world that are attuned to the mind, knowledge, and skill base of that person. So we're looking at a whole new model of education in this new age as the industrial age dies and an age of virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and robotization takes place.
Actually, one last question, Gerald. Do you have any New Year's resolutions for yourself?
Oh, yeah. I think it was either Jesus, Muhammad, or Buddha, but one of them said, I believe, you better boogie before the lights go out because tomorrow is iffy. So I want to boogie before the lights go out.
Absolutely. Well, Gerald, thanks so much for joining us. All the best. Continued success in the new year.
Buon Natale.
And Buon Natale. Merry Christmas to you as well, Gerald. Thank you so much for joining us for our continued coverage of Kitco's Outlook 2017.